What the fuck was wrong with her? Already thinking about Caitlin in past tense. What happened, ma'am? She's not breathing. She needs help. Do you know how to do CPR, ma'am? Her voice was calming, but George wasn't calm. I'm an ER doctor. Yes, I do. George didn't need any direction. She knew how bad it was. She paused again to check for breathing. No breathing. George gave a rescue breath before switching to CPR again, ignoring the way her heart sank at the lack of response. You'll be okay, George said between presses, trying to reassure herself. She didn't want to think about the success rate of what she was doing, the likelihood of what was happening. No matter what her logical doctor brain thought, she held out hope. She had to. But Caitlin still wasn't breathing. George glanced at the door, desperately waiting for the ambulance. A few minutes. The 911 operator sounded in her head. George almost jolted, having forgotten about the phone pressed to her ear. A few more minutes. Caitlin would be okay. She had to be. Chapter 1. Zoe sat in the passenger seat, her eyes focused on the trees as they drove past. Her older sister, Alexa, sat in the front seat, the older sister she hadn't seen in over a decade. In fact, the last time they had seen each other, Alexa was leaving town and leaving Zoe and her brother Sean behind with their father. It wasn't a happy memory. Not that this was the most awkward car ride she had experienced in quite some time. That list included driving with her jealous, bitter in-laws to her husband's funeral. Seeing Alexa after a decade hadn't been what Zoe wanted it to be. After Ben's death, she had decided life was too short to regret. Well, to regret more than she already did. 6 months of searching later, she had found Alexa in Portland and flown there 6 months later to show up on her doorstep. Surprise! There had been no instantaneous happiness, no extreme joy and an immediate connection. Instead, there had been shock, disbelief, a hug. For both. But at least Alexa had listened. Zoe felt empty. Maybe that was from Ben's death. But it had been a year. Wasn't she over it yet? She wished she was, and she hated herself for it. She was tired of feeling empty, tired of grieving. She had loved him. She still loved him, but she was tired of hurting. Guilt prickled at the edges of her conscience. How could she think such a thing when she was the one who had killed him? Maybe taking the time to find Alexa hadn't been a good idea after all. Maybe she should have just stayed and wallowed. No, Zoe was tired of wallowing, of feeling guilty. Finding Alexa was the perfect opportunity for a second chance, learning to move on, trying to shed the guilt that clung to her every day, every moment. Survivor's guilt, they called it. But the name didn't matter. Whatever it was, Zoe had lived, while her husband had died. And it was her fault. Isaac and I can always come up if you need company, Alexa said, pulling Zoe out of her thoughts. Isaac was Alexa's fiancé, an ER doc in Portland. It was strange how much Alexa had changed, and how much she hadn't. Her hair was darker, cut differently, but her face was still the same. Those same jade eyes, like their mother, long eyelashes, and sharp, intelligent features. I'll be okay, Zoe assured her. Alone was better. Alone was safe. She couldn't hurt anyone, or put them in harm's way. Alexa hesitated, and Zoe could tell she was thinking about what to say, how much to comfort her. It was an expression she had become uncomfortably familiar with over the past year. No one knew what to say to the young, grieving widow. I promise, Zoe added, just in case that was helpful. Alexa glanced at her, then back at the road as they pulled into the driveway of her lake house. Another car, Isaac, pulled in behind them. He was going to drive Alexa back to Portland.